I guarantee that it is in your interest to honor this request. Believe me, if my purpose was not significant, I would not risk my life pursuing it. The reason I climbed your tower was to get your attention. If I had sought this via conventional means, I would be much less likely to have success.
Oh, that's 19-year-old Stephen Rogata in a message that he posted on YouTube, posting that just before he used those large suction cups to scale the side of Trump Tower in Manhattan earlier this week. Now, Stephen is charged with reckless endangerment and criminal trespassing. Thankfully, he wasn't hurt. No one else was hurt either. But you know, that stunt, not only it caused chaos outside of Trump's campaign headquarters and office, but from very real, very scary moments for all of us as the nation watched this live on television.
At no time did he express that he wanted to hurt anybody. His sole intention was to meet with Mr. Trump. It took 3 hours to get him in custody, and upon getting him in custody, he explained the same thing, that he wanted Mr. Trump's attention, and he wanted a meeting with him.
New York's finest did a fabulous job on the 21st floor, saving his life and bringing him safely in. So what does Stephen face? Joining us now is our legal panel. David Schwartz, a defense attorney, and former prosecutor Kirsten Wilson is a trial attorney. Stephen Rogata is not his original name. He was Stephen Ryan, changed it a few years ago. He's now in Bellevue Hospital here in Manhattan undergoing psychiatric evaluation. He is charged with reckless endangerment, a felony, and criminal trespass. So what is, David, the procedure? What's going on with him now? What can we expect?
Right. Well, he'll be evaluated, and then after his evaluation, he needs to be arraigned on the criminal charges. And these are just misdemeanor charges. These aren't felony charges. They're misdemeanors, and he'll have his arraignment. And I'm not sure he's going to plead insanity and I do think he'll be found competent to stand trial.
Why is that?
Well, it's a very high burden to try to declare someone incompetent to stand trial. But the charges are just minor charges. So if I'm the defense attorney, I'm going to let it go through the system and get a disposition.
Well, Kirsten, if you're on YouTube, in that hood, saying you're going to climb Trump Tower, I mean, you want to get a message to Mr. Trump? Email, call, drop a letter in the mailbox.
Yeah, I understand the practicality of what David's saying, but the reality is the courts and the police department have already triggered this evaluation of him. I mean, somebody has said there's obviously a psychological issue. But David's correct. To determine competency, to determine that someone is incompetent, it's a pretty high burden. They have to really not understand who the players are in a courtroom, what they're charged with, what the process is, not be able to communicate effectively. And so I'm imagining that's part of what's going on at Bellevue, potentially maybe looking at insanity, but typically that's triggered as a defense by the defense attorney.
Well, he certainly appears articulate and able to eloquently describe his goal and his mission in wanting to see Donald Trump for whatever, secret reason that was. So by what you're saying is that would not trigger a mental defense.
It doesn't have to. It still is a linear thought process. I mean, you're looking at the fact that he created a YouTube video knowing what he was going to do the next day. He had the tools. He made the trip up. He actually went through with his plan. When they tried to get him into the window, he came in through the window. He was actually maneuvering to try and avoid these people. So as much as it may seem odd to most of us, what he did actually had a very linear thought process to it. And that's the sort of thing that the mental health experts are going to look at.
And man, David, this takes a lot of planning. You got to know how these suction cups work. Right. You got to think of this. And this is what we know about him. 19 years old, went to Langley High School. His friends, according to reports, say he's Republican conservative views. He had been an intern at the Fairfax County Republican Party at some point. And his parents apparently said that he became obsessed with the internet, ran away at one point, then came home. Then they come home from vacation, and the car's gone, and they don't know where he is. And he drove up to New York with, his parents not knowing anything.
Look, if I'm the defense attorney on this case, I'm going to certainly use the mental illness defense, but not in the insanity context. I'm going to use it to try to get a disposition, a non-criminal disposition of the case, which involves mental health counseling. And that's what I'm going to go after in this case. And really, these charges are not significant charges in the grand scheme of things.
Do you think he faces jail time, or would that possibly be the way this will end?
I don't think he's going to face jail time at all. I think a disposition most likely is going to involve some sort of ongoing counseling, as recommended potentially by the experts in the report.
You know, we've seen this before. People like a guy tried to parachute into the Statue of Liberty. Philippe Petit climbed between the two towers of the World Trade Center. So
this is New York City criminal court. It's a free-for-all. Trust. This is not even these aren't the harshest facts the judge has seen. And you know, he's seen a lot.
Yep. You spend some time in New York City criminal court, you can't make it up.
Well, and his age is going to play into it as well, as you said. I mean, he's a really young kid.
Yeah, well, we certainly hope for the best for him, that he gets whatever help that he needs and can deal with that. And our heart goes out to his parents, because they must be going through
Absolutely.
hell.
Absolutely.
All right, David Kirsten, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
Eric.
Arthel?
Okay, guys. Well, victims of the Orlando nightclub shooting texted friends and relatives from inside the club, but could they have received help faster if they would have been able to text 911? More on the push to change the way we reach emergency services.
If somebody's, inside their house, or if they're in the trunk of a car and they don't want somebody to hear them, they can send a text message and we can still provide assistance to them.